It's the Urban Louisville Chess Club podcast. Been a little slow in getting more and more podcasts and interviews out there, but reason why I've been so slow about it is because we've been so busy. Right now I'm in the middle of my chess and financial literacy camp. It's going to end in a couple of days. It's a 4-day camp. We're going from 9:30 to 1 p.m. here at Launch, Louisville, 816 East Broadway. And just having a good time and teaching chess and teaching about stocks and stock investing in the stock market. It's been a great time. But one thing has really hit me. And what it is that the importance of teaching our young people important things at a young age. Don't wait. 5 or 6, that's a good time to start teaching stuff, whether it be chess, Shakespeare, stock investing. And let me say this too, another thing I want to say. Don't assume that young people aren't interested in chess. Don't say things like, oh, he wouldn't or she wouldn't be interested in chess. You really don't know what they're interested in until you introduce it to them. Now, if you introduce it to them, they don't show much of an interest, okay, leave it alone. But you should at least introduce it to them. My daughter had no interest whatsoever in soccer. I still have a picture of her in her first day of going to soccer practice. And that kid had a sour look on her face. She was letting Daddy know through her body language, facial expressions. She did not want to go. Well, guess what? 4 years later, that kid stayed with soccer. She played in a soccer league at Southeast Christian Church. And she absolutely loved it. I never forget one year. It was the last day, the last practice. And she said, Daddy, aren't we coming back? We coming back tomorrow? I said, no, baby, it's, season's over. And she kept asking about, well, can't we come back? Aren't they going to be doing something else somewhere? I mean, she did a 180 when it came to soccer. She loved it. She really enjoyed it. Well, I introduced it to her. And my attitude is that, well, if she was going to have a negative attitude about it, after a couple of tries, I would have stopped. But she didn't. She stayed with soccer for 4 years. She would have stayed longer if her mother hadn't done certain things. Chess, it was the same thing. In an interview my daughter did, she said that she thought chess would be boring. And now, during that interview, she said now what she wanted to do is to teach other young people chess because she enjoyed it so much. Shakespeare. A lot of people were, and part of the reason why a lot of people are a little funky about my daughter getting involved in chess and Shakespeare is because she was a black girl. And it amazed me their subtle racist, sexist attitude. And it was more sexist than racist. I introduced my daughter to Shakespeare. She did age-appropriate Shakespeare workbooks. And she really got into Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet. She read a couple of other Shakespeare stuff. I remember I had her in the store, and I said, hey, you choose whatever workbooks you want to do, reading workbooks you want to do, and she picked up Shakespeare. I'll never forget when she tried Othello, and she wanted to check out Othello, and people were asking her, oh, were you interested in Othello because it's a story about a black man and your father's a black man? And she never really quite answered it. And I guess really her answer was that it was Shakespeare. And I just wanted to check him out. She had checked out other Shakespeare stuff. She enjoyed it. She checked out Othello. She didn't get into Othello as much. And she sat down and talked to me about why she didn't really get into Othello much. My point is, introduce young people to things. If they don't want to do it, if there's really some strong resistance to it after a couple attempts, hey, no big deal. Move on to the next thing. So, and that's definitely been in my experience with stock investing. A lot of young people. I have probably to date helped about 7 of my chess students start their own stock account. Of course, they didn't do it. Their parents is a custodial account. And I would say it's about 7. And I would say, man, it's worked out pretty well with them because I can still go up to them and say, hey, what companies have you bought? And they'll be able to tell you. And there is a relationship between stock investing and chess. Susan Polgar has put out a real good book on that subject, and it's one I'd highly recommend. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with folks. This coming Saturday, we're going to be doing a tournament at Shawnee Branch Library in Louisville, Kentucky. Registration time is 10:45 a.m. There's no entry fee, so anybody at any skill level, all ages, can participate. We will be running it like a regular tournament, but again, it will not be rated, and we will be giving out prizes. So I really like to encourage people to come out and encourage your friends to come out. And I do want folks to know that as the coach for the West Louisville Chess Club, I will be looking at the possibility of trying to recruit some kids, because the West Louisville Chess Club, as of this month, we are going at it, and we're going at it in a hard way. So I hope to see you this coming Saturday at Shawnee Branch Library around 10:45 a.m. And I also hope that you guys start at least giving some thought, if you haven't done so already, introducing your son or daughter to Shakespeare, chess, and stock investing.